Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to our diamond-led call. We do these twice a month, and we've decided, just to collaborate on giving you guys some awesome team education. It's made it a lot easier for us to do it, once every 2 months, but to have this sort of regular team call is really important, just so that we can connect and learn more together. So we decided that this would be a really good topic for the end of November, that we should really start planning ahead and thinking about what this is going to look like for us as we head into the holiday season, but then also planning for 2017. So I'm really excited. I don't know if you've ever seen this quote before. Failing to plan is planning to fail. I hear it all the time, usually in like fitness and meal planning kind of ideas, that if you don't plan ahead what kind of meals you're going to eat, what your healthy eating is going to look like, if you don't schedule in your workouts, you're basically setting yourself up for failure. And I know that that's true with those things. I know if I don't have healthy meal options, then I'll often reach for something that I shouldn't eat. And this is true in your business too. If we don't plan, if we just kind of treat this business like, oh, whatever happens, and you just treat it like a hobby, and you're kind of, really laissez-faire about the whole thing, you're not really setting yourself up for success and for growth and for, huge momentum. So you really want to have a solid plan, a business plan. That can look like a whole bunch of different things to you. Maybe it's putting it down in writing. Maybe it's having a mentor call and kind of brainstorming a plan with your upline. Maybe it's using a rank planner when you're heading for rank. This could be something for everybody. If you guys can just mute yourselves. I'm going to bed. Somebody doesn't know what they I hit mute all, but somebody still has tons of background noise. Okay, here we go. That's better. Thank you. Yeah, so just let's look at what it means to have a solid plan and to head forward into a really fun and productive holiday season, and also into a new year. So holidays can be a tricky time of year for doTERRA. I always plan ahead, knowing that September to December is going to be busy doTERRA time. I know my life has always been busy September to December, so this isn't really this shocking new idea, but I just plan for it. I know that I'm going to be, teaching more and mentoring more and getting a little bit more hands-on with my business. And so I hope that that's your mindset as well. We often treat December as a month-long holiday, but that is not going to be beneficial for you, because you're going to miss out on some of the holiday momentum that can happen naturally. Think about this question. How many of you like to sell? None of us, right? It's not a comfortable feeling. We don't enjoy the process of selling to people. It feels awkward and pushy, and we don't enjoy that. But think of the flip side of that. Like, if you're like me, how many of you like to buy? Right? We love purchasing things. We love shopping for other people. We love going to the store and enjoying the process of shopping, maybe online shopping. Buying is fun and empowering, and sometimes it can be therapy. I'm not saying that that's healthy, but people are enjoying buying things in December. So learn to take advantage of that truth, and to just serve people and teach them about oils, teach them how the oils are going to be beneficial to give as gifts, and to even buy for themselves and kind of pamper themselves with during the holiday season. So like I said, plan ahead. This is key. You have to plan ahead for what December is going to look like. And that starts now. So if you haven't booked any classes or any events for December, that's what you're going to be doing the next 2 weeks. November's not over. We still have time to optimize BOGO and get excited about the rest of this month and kind of push for new ranks or push for more volume or whatever you're going for. But still take some time ahead aside to plan for a successful December. And kind of think about what you want December to feel like. Do you want it to be, tons of one-on-one classes in education, or do you want to have a little bit more, something different in your the way that you're building? Do you want to do something more fun and something more customer appreciation oriented, something a little less educational and maybe a little bit more about, spa products or something a little bit more fun? So get those classes and events booked once you kind of decide the feeling that you want in December. If you want it to be, more silly and more laid back, or if you want it to be like high and rolling and top 10 oils and 101s, kind of reach out to those people who you think would be interested in hosting those kinds of events. A lot of people will book vendor shows. I find November, December is like a wonderful time of year to do vendor events. There's tons of fundraisers and shopping events and stuff like that to get your foot in the door. You can host your own shopping event, but just get those things booked on your calendar well in advance, because December fills up so fast. And if you wait until December 1st, everyone's going to start telling you that they don't have any space, that they're too busy. So you need to get these things scheduled and get the information out to people early. So that's why it's so important to do this now, especially for December. Holiday parties and school fundraisers and all kinds of things start popping up in December that you need to get on the bandwagon quickly. Besides booking classes, there's some other awesome things you can do this time of year. So, first you're going to get intentional about really living out your oil loving life. It just naturally sharing with people. Do it on social media. Do it when you're out and about with friends and family. At the Christmas party, pull out your peppermint beadlets. Use your On Guard roller, whatever it is. Make sure that you're speaking about the oils and using the oils in really cool ways. Sample like crazy. This is the time of year when people need it. Right now I feel like I'm getting a bit of a cold. When I'm out and about, I will definitely have my On Guard throat drops, or I'll put a drop of lemon in my mouth or whatever it is, just so that people can see what's happening. And you're going to have tons of people who telling you they have a sore throat or they have a headache or they have a cough or whatever it is. This is your opportunity to sample people. Sample trios are always in my purse this time of year. And I usually give people On Guard and Breathe. Those are my top two that I sample this time of year. You're also going to want to create fun in your business. So I'm going to go into this in a little bit more detail in a minute. But we want to have fun in December so it doesn't feel so much like work, and so that you can really enjoy sort of a fun holiday Christmas season. You also want to kind of take a step further in your oil education. So as you're doing social media posts and reaching out to your warm market, you want to make sure that you're providing something that's going to be useful and relevant. So whether it's seasonally relevant, so something that's it's very specific to holidays or specific to cold and flu, December type topics are going to be really helpful. Also think about, keeping kids entertained, because we're going to have 2 weeks off of school, and what to do that way. And maybe, how to deal with stress for moms who have kids home from school, or activities that, those kinds of things. So make sure that it's relevant and useful and you're actually giving your customers some value. I also really like to show people what and how to give doTERRA gifts. Like what kind of gifts would be really effective. But more importantly, explain to people and demonstrate through your own gift giving why giving doTERRA is such an amazing gift. That you're giving people the gift of health, and you're giving people this ability to reduce their toxic load and to clean up their home and reduce their stress. And And when you come from that place of why this gift is so important, it's going to make a massive difference in the way that you're giving gifts, and that people are going to see how awesome doTERRA is to add to their life. If you have heard the TED Talk by Simon Sinek, where he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So make sure that that's part of what you're doing this season. So here's some really cool holiday class ideas. Feel free to get out a notebook and kind of scratch down things that are interesting to you, things that you think you might actually want to do. I like changing it up in the Christmas season just to keep it more fun and interesting for me, but also to provide something really nice for my customers, my current customers. I kind of feel like December is the perfect time to make them feel special, to remind them that you haven't forgotten about them, to thank them for doing loyalty rewards orders throughout the year, and also to give back, whether it's to your customers or to like the greater community. So here's some great ideas. You can do make and takes. We love these this time of year. And because it's December, just advertise it like it's a gift giving make and take. So people can come and make their own Christmas gifts. People really love this idea that they can come and make something really simple and inexpensive, like a sugar scrub, and then they can put together, a spa package or something for somebody in their family that they need to buy for. Spa classes would be really fun now that we have the whole new doTERRA spa line. The spa products are such awesome gifts. So if you can do a whole spa class, it'll be so awesome to pamper some of the women and moms who often shop for their families and don't have time to shop for themselves. And sometimes they don't get gifts themselves. I've heard lots of moms who spend hundreds of dollars on their family and then they end up with very little for themselves, right? So a lot of times women need a little bit of pampering or a little bit of something special for them too. So it's great for stressed out, busy women. So consider a spa class, or even yourself, if you're giving gifts, consider giving doTERRA to people. I know sometimes if you're a business builder, you don't want to always be giving your own product away to people, but there's such beautiful products. The spa line, I love, amazing, amazing products. And with the holiday guide, you can get some of those spa products, but with like a holiday feel. So those are awesome. The cold and flu education is great too. You can teach people about the top 10 oils or about the On Guard products or whatever, and just advertise it as that you're going to be teaching people how to have a healthier, happier, stress-free, germ-free holiday. People really will enjoy that. I really like the idea of a shopping party. So there's a few builders on my team who are doing this, where they're getting a couple of vendors together just in their home, and they'll have sort of a Christmas shopping night. So you can come and you can buy from all kinds of different vendors and tick off a bunch of people on your wish list or on your Christmas list all at once. It's a fun way to sell retail and to set up a little vendor table. And likely you're not going to be able to do a lot of education at an event like that, but it's going to help you build some contacts. My team's also doing a big give back night. So you can do this any way you want, but people are often a little bit more generous around the Christmas season. And so it's a great time to do a fundraiser or have people bring donations to a class. It's a great time to remind people about donating to the Healing Hands Foundation, or even to set up a class where you tell people like, hey, I'm going to donate all of my commissions to this cause. And whatever the cause is that you're passionate about, it'll often help draw people out to a class who wouldn't otherwise come if they know it's a fundraiser for something that they really have a heart for. As we go into the holidays too, you're going to likely amp up your social media sharing. I often find that a lot of people who have their own private Facebook groups, they post a little more often during November, December. Part of it's because of BOGO, but another part is just because they're wanting to educate and maybe tone down the teaching and enrolling and kind of amp up the customer appreciation and value of their education. So this is a perfect time for you to work on how you appear on social media, what your social media presence is going to be. Very, very important first two lines here. One, don't annoy your own Facebook friends. It's so important to set up a private essential oils group so that you can post things in there and people expect it. They know you're going to be posting in there. It's your business. It's allowed. Like it's a good place to do that. Don't do it on your personal profile every single day. You're likely to just lose friends. I've had my own friends tell me very early on in my business that they were basically like, I don't want to hear anything else about doTERRA. And so I do post on my personal profile, but it's a lot less often than I would post in my business groups and in my private oils groups. I also see a lot of people who will post about doTERRA in like a mommy network or a Facebook group. And most of the times it's not even allowed in those kinds of groups. That's considered spam. And in my opinion, it's very counter doTERRA culture. Like don't do that. So what you're going to think of is always providing value. You need to earn people's trust. If you're constantly providing sales, and first of all, when you're sharing on social media, you are not allowed to offer incentives anymore. doTERRA has asked us to stop. So no online sales as far as being in the public eye. So you can't post on your profile like, hey, get a home essentials kit and I'll give you blank. It's not allowed at all. So you're going to have to focus your sharing on education and value and really committing to getting people to appreciate the things that you have to say. So they're going to see you as being somebody who has a lot to offer. Good tips, good recipes, good value in education. So definitely be aware of what you're posting to people. The 80-20 rule is awesome. 80% is value, education and ideas and how to use your oils and, leading them to videos and resources and that kind of thing. And then only 20% will be sales and promotions and advertising for classes and that kind of thing. So you don't want to constantly be asking people to do something. Only have those sort of call to action posts 20% of the time. Most of the time, just give them, just pour into them and give them goodness. Like I said, share your oil loving life. Get personal, be real. We don't want to just share this like perfectionist highlight reel of our life that is not accurate. In fact, people will listen to you more if you're vulnerable and if you act real and you share with your teams, things, or with your customers, things that you're struggling with, things that the oils have helped you with, things that you really show the value of how essential oils can make a difference. But in that, showing the sort of imperfect nature and the humanity of yourself. I often find that leaders will put on this facade that their life is perfect. And I so relate to the people who remind us that they aren't perfect either. And that we all have these moments of needing the oils because things get stressful and things get crazy. And so definitely be yourself and be real. Go live. So I encourage all of you to go live on Facebook. There's definitely a balance of not wanting to go live all the time because I definitely have friends in my network who go live like every day and I ignore it because it's too often. So try to find some sort of balance of going live and doing something that's going to get their attention. If you're just going to sit and talk at the screen like this on a live video, it's a little bit less engaging. But if you're going to show them a DIY project and kind of show them your table and your oils and what you're doing, I think people will be a little bit more interested in that. So show how you use your oils at home and what you're doing with them, and even show like packaging up Christmas gifts and what you're making, that kind of thing. Focus on one platform at a time too. Like it's really hard to be great at Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of it all at once. So kind of pick your platform and stick to that and be really excellent on one. So sampling this time of year, as I mentioned, super important. Cold and flu season is a natural in for sharing the oils with people. It's going to come up in conversation with your family and your friends. This time of year, people are going to be struggling with something. Just suggest to them what you do at home. And it's not a sales pitch. It's just giving them a solution. And when you offer something free with your advice, it puts some weight behind it. So you're giving them something and you're helping them in that moment. You can also sample strangers. If you hear somebody coughing behind you in line, don't be afraid to hand them a throat drop, a breathe throat drop or whatever, and just say, hey, try this. And if they like it, you can ask for their contact information. I always say never offer a sample without finding the next way to contact them. So whether you give them an invitation to a class or you invite them to like your Facebook page or you get their contact information so you can call them or email them or text them, book your next follow-up. You can offer free samples on Facebook this time of year. A lot of people will be interested in trying new things. They're busy though, right? This is definitely a busy season. So just kind of like, hey, I'll send this in the mail to you if you're interested. Just send me your address and I'll mail you some free samples that are customized to what you're looking for. So I love, personally, when I'm sampling people, I'm very low stress. And in my classes and in the way that I sell, I'm very not salesy. I know a lot of people have, sales tips and tricks that they've learned over the years. And I kind of tell people, unlearn those things. You don't want to be a salesman. You don't want to be that used car person who's pushy. You don't want to be that retail sales clerk who's annoying. You just want to be somebody who offers a way for people to reach their health goals and a solution to a common problem. And once they see that it works, they will order from you. You don't even have to ask. Okay, so these are some fun holiday event ideas. I love the idea of a customer appreciation night. So you would be reaching out to your own customers and just inviting them to come for a fun event. These are people who already have oils and already love oils. So it's going to be a fun class because these people they're going to be excited about this kind of a thing. And so it can be a shopping night or a spa night or a workshop to make something, but just invite them out and call it a customer appreciation night. And do prize drawings and something, maybe make something for them all to take home. All of the guests get a free sugar scrub or something really inexpensive, but a really nice gift that you can give them. The holiday shopping, just get a bunch of people all together in one room to shop and have a good night together. Where there's wine, there's fun, right? So invite people to come and have a fun girls' night out or whatever it is. A bonus, if you could arrange to have a sitter there, you could have it, on a time where moms maybe are not able to get out and get their holiday shopping done. Say, hey, we're going to have somebody downstairs to play with your kids. Come on out and shop. Bring the kids along. What a fun event, right? That they could drop their kids off for an hour and shop around and not have to worry about them. Then team holiday parties. Consider getting together with some of the people on your team and just having fun this time of year. That's what this is all about. Have some fun together, and it's going to help build the unity and the momentum, and brainstorming with other business builders is always a good idea. doTERRA is gifts. I love giving doTERRA to people as gifts. I often, even if I'm going to buy them something else, I'll give them something from doTERRA. And you may think it's a little bit cliche, but it's so important to get doTERRA into the hands of your contacts. The holiday guide is a great place for people to be able to purchase gifts. If you run an essential oil series online, you could teach them how to make all kinds of different oil gifts. doTERRA has a few really great blog posts for gift giving. They have them for all kinds of seasons, Mother's Day, Father's Day. But kind of compile some of those blog posts together and then post them every day for a week or something so people can see all the different ways that you can use the oils to make presents. You can even go on live and teach people how to make something specific. So whether it's aromatherapy Play-Doh or for the kids or a bath salt or something like that. So I, last year, actually gave my kids' teachers a doTERRA present. And my sons have a lot of teachers. They go to a Montessori school and they each have 3 teachers. So I had to give 6 presents to that school. So I gave them all a little USB diffuser. It was a very inexpensive one, a bottle of wild orange, and a sample trio. So it was very cheap and because I had to keep it cheap because there's so many of them. But crazy, throughout this year, 5 of those teachers have now enrolled. And one of them keeps telling me she's going to enroll. She just hasn't yet. So it's such a big difference to be able to get those oils into somebody's home. Just them having that little diffuser, they were using their oils and loving the smells. And you can keep it really inexpensive and still offer them something awesome. Okay, so we're going to change gears and move into setting up 2017. I want you guys to make sure you have something to write on. So definitely grab yourself a notebook. You're going to do some actual planning as we go into this section of the call. Before we kind of dive into the hands-on planning stage, I just want to kind of talk about a few things. Here now you can see it a little bit better. We know that getting to the next level is not going to be the thing that brings you joy and happiness in your life. So I find that this is really important to talk about because we need to feel happy and fulfilled with who we are now instead of always like waiting for the next thing that's going to bring us fulfillment. So what does it mean to be content in each season of your life? Contentment is not settling. It doesn't mean that you stop dreaming. It doesn't mean that you just give up trying to be a better version of yourself. But it does mean that you choose joy and you choose gratitude in everything that you're doing. And so whatever life is going to bring you, you're going to be able to handle it because you have those things in place, because you have that feeling of joy and peace and thankfulness. And if you're not content in your current situation, you really won't be content when you reach those goals. So it starts now, feeling that sense of fulfillment and completeness in your life. So just want you to kind of think of this as we move through. Are you living frustrated? I think we all do this a little bit. I need blank, and then I'll be happy. As soon as I blank, or as soon as blank happens, I'll be happy. We kind of all think ahead of the next thing that's coming. I know for a long time I struggled with my finances, and I was just like, oh, we'll get this promotion or we'll get this thing. Something's going to happen in my life and I'm not going to have any more debt. And it wasn't that I had to wait for the next event. It was that I had to fix the problem that I was having of turning a blind eye to my finances and just ignoring them and buying whatever I wanted. I had to fix me on the inside first before I could actually see that the problem was not in the future. The problem was something now. So try not to live frustrated. We do this all the time, especially as women. Maybe it's body image. Maybe it's comparing your business to another person. Maybe it's relationship struggles. Whatever you're going through, if your happiness is completely hinged on something happening, you either need to fix that or you need to kind of go within and figure out what you can change in your own life on the inside. So don't miss a beautiful season in your life because you're always complaining and always wanting more. So you can fill in this in your notebook. I need blank and then I'll be happy, and kind of consider what it is that you're waiting on. What is that thing? I think if you identify it, it's going to help you overcome it. What is that thing that keeps holding you back? This thing that you're like, ugh, if only this happened in my life, then I'd be cool. And then I want you to, after that, kind of write down what you're grateful for. So this is going to help flip that over a bit and trade in your expectations for things, for appreciations, like it says. So list 20 things that you feel gratitude for. It's okay if you don't have time to list all 20, but definitely take some time to reflect on that and list 20 things that you have appreciation for. Okay, and then we're going to move into a little bit more of the success and how we can, this part's called the science of achievement. I took a lot of this information from a webinar that Kyle and Kirsten Kirschbaum did on the same topic, like having a really successful doTERRA year, and I loved this section. So I'm not a genius. I didn't create this, but that's what we do in doTERRA. We reuse materials. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. See number 2? Don't reinvent the wheel. Okay, so what is your focus going to be for this coming year? When you really want something, there are going to be times when you need to be hyper laser focused. And it's likely going to mean that things are going to be sacrificed temporarily. You're going to need to put your time and energy into achieving that goal. And you're going to need to let something slide so it's not going to get in the way of your focus. So for me, I was involved in 100 different things at church. I was on the praise team. I was teaching Sunday school. I was helping out in the nursery, helping watch the babies. I was going to youth every night and teaching a Bible study another night. Like it was a lot. And so I finally realized that I had to step back from overextending myself there so that I could feel like I had enough to give in other areas of my life. And so it's made me a better mom, and it's definitely improved my business. And so I still volunteer at church, but it's just in a very a more specific way now, rather than doing everything all at once. So just focus in and say no to things. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. I have such a problem saying no to things. I had one of my friends called me and she's like, hey, I'm organizing a baby shower for so-and-so. And in my head, I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. What came out of my mouth? Oh yeah, sure, I'll help you. So don't be like me. Say no to things if you don't want to commit to them. Okay, number 2, what is your strategy? You want to come up with a strategy. A great way in doTERRA to figure out your strategy is to identify somebody who's gone the path before you. Who do you know who has gone where you want to go? And ask them, how did they get there? Allow that person to be your mentor, and they're going to help you focus and help you figure out the how. Like, how are you going to do this? And then you can check back with that person, and they'll help you strategize and help mentor you as frequently. And it's going to happen in seasons. You'll find when you're going for a goal, you'll likely have lots of questions and need lots of encouragement. And then you'll step back a little bit and you'll have a season of resting, and you're not going to need so much guiding. So it's great that we can have this business where we don't need this constant. I personally don't believe in ongoing weekly mentor calls. I love the ability to be able to connect organically when things come up and when you need help. And that's the kind of leader I want to be for you guys, available whenever you guys have something that comes up and you need it. And you think, hey, I need a call. I'm totally willing to do that. Because I find it's a little bit more helpful in those seasons of busyness and pushing for something. Okay, number 3, how can you manifest your goal? I used to think manifestation was a pile of baloney until I actually saw it at work. We know for sure that our attitude, if we are positive towards something, it's more likely to happen. Whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So manifestation is actually a really powerful tool to allowing yourself to, while you're focusing and strategizing, to be able to picture what it feels like to achieve that goal. So you're going to picture in your mind, kind of what you want to feel, what you want to achieve, what you're going to feel when you achieve it. Picture actually getting there. I know for me, when I wanted to walk as a silver at convention, I had 1 month to qualify. If I didn't hit in January, I think it was January 2015, then I wouldn't have been able to walk. And so I just pictured myself on that stage, and it was so rewarding when I finally got to walk across the stage. And you're just one in this huge crowd, but I was still super pumped after I got to do it. It was really fun. Are you ready to take massive action? Your focus and your goal must be greater than your fear, or nothing is going to happen. So a lot of times we have these blocks. We have these things in our business that are causing us to be scared and to stumble and to not want to march boldly forward into our dreams and into our goal. And if you allow that fear to choke out your action, then nothing's going to happen. You're not going to see momentum. You're going to see a huge brick wall in your face. But what I want you to know is that wall is literally just wallpaper. All you have to do is push through it and you'll be on the other side. So the only way we can do that is by improving ourselves. If you stare at that wall for too long, you're probably going to just back down and shrink into this person that you think can't do it. You're going to get trapped in your own mind of and your own criticism. We are our worst critics. But if you can kind of rise above that and skill up, so personal development, improving yourself, getting yourself to grow and to learn and to become a better leader, that's when you're going to be able to push through that wallpaper wall. Number 6, never quit. It sounds simple, it really does, but I have actually seen quite a few builders now that I'm 2 years into my business. I've seen quite a few people quit. Usually it's after they hit their very first wall, their very first moment of rejection and discouragement, and they're out. They're like, no, this business isn't for me. Instead of thinking, how can I improve myself to become the kind of person who can handle this business? They think, oh, no, I'm not cut out for it. So put it in your mind now, I am never going to quit. And it'll completely change the way you do this biz. Okay, there's a season for everything. This is also from Kyle and Kirsten's webinar that they did. And it just talks about different seasons in the year. So if you look at the red squares, these are, months that they would be high enrolling months. So January, February, March, April, May, June, usually the first half of the year, you'll be building momentum. You'll notice July and August are not high enrolling months. This is exactly how I built my business this past year. Lots of action, hit diamond in June, took the summer off. July and August, I was kind of home with my kids and celebrating and just relaxing a little bit. Then September, October, November is busy season again, like high enrolling, getting action, getting classes. And then December is often like a rest and refocus, personal development time, nourishing your network, helping your wholesale customers to feel appreciated. And that's when you'll do those like customer appreciation events, those kinds of things. It doesn't have to look like this. You may decide your own seasons, and we'll kind of talk about that based on, important events in the doTERRA calendar. So Ange gave us this. I'm sorry it's super small. I will post the image after, so you can maybe like scroll in and actually read it. But Ange kind of put this together of some of the things that are happening in the doTERRA year that we should consider when we're thinking about planning for rank and planning for what we're going to be doing, whether it's programs we're going to be offering or programs we're going to be joining. And when we want to hit our next rank, these things actually will make a difference in planning towards that. So because we can't read that one, I just kind of cleared up some of the things. These were the promos for the past 2 years. The promos for 2016, you may have noticed, were quite a bit different than the other years. 2014 and 2015 were pretty identical. And so we thought we could predict 2016. Turns out we couldn't, especially with the Canadian launch. We had tons of extra Canadian promos that we were able to offer. However, there is a little bit of consistency. Usually January, March, June, March, June, September, and December are 200 PV promo months. That's been the history, and that's what we usually expect. December has always been the frankincense promo. Who knows? doTERRA may surprise us and change it up. I hope not, but because I love that promo. But those are things that you can kind of count on. January is always the incentive trip, and it's the last month that you can hit silver in order to qualify to go to leadership. So I always like to encourage all the people who I think are going to be brand new silvers to go for it in November. And if they don't, make it in November to try again in January. December may not be your favorite rank up month, maybe just because the last day of the month also happens to be New Year's Eve. That's not a fun night to be cramming all your enrollments and everything in on the last night. It's doable. And hit Presidential Diamond in December. So So it's doable, but I say just kind of skip it and go again in January. So that's because leadership is in February or March. February for Orlando, March for California. March is also usually a 200 PV promo month. So 2 years in a row, it was a deep blue promo. That's possible again. I don't know for sure. July, if you're considering doing Diamond Club, you'll want to hit silver. They will make exceptions for premieres. You'll want to hit silver by July so that you can do Diamond Club. If you have a team that's quite spread out, where you have builders building in a lot of different locations that you would love to be reimbursed to travel and to support them, Diamond Club is something you should really, really consider and start planning towards now already. Plan to have those people on their 100 PV LRP so that you can qualify to be able to go there and have your expenses reimbursed. We'll talk about Diamond Club a little bit more another time, but it's an awesome program. August is your last month to qualify for convention. So if you want to be recognized as a silver and above at convention, you have to hit it in August. So August for silver, golds, and platinums, you can hit just one time. If you want to be recognized as gold or as diamond, blue diamond, presidential, you have to hit 2 times. So September is convention month. Usually that's not, for me, it's not a high enrolling month because I find with back to school and convention sort of back to back, or in this case, it's the same week, back to school and convention, which is a bit of a pain for us poor Canadians. I always find that I come back from convention super pumped, but I don't have a lot of classes happening those next couple of weeks. If you plan ahead and get those classes scheduled for the last 2 weeks, you'll be okay, and you can kind of start teaching and get that excitement going. But usually I find October is my next push month, my next month to really go for it. And then we're finding ourselves here in November. Next year, they're going to be doing another Diamond Summit. So I had the pleasure of being able to go to the Diamond Summit this year, and I really loved being there. There was 20 diamonds in Canada, and we just got to hang out and eat meals together and kind of mastermind. This could be you. Like, I actually asked Jared if any of the new diamonds could have an exception to go if they hit just one time, and he said yes. So if you hit diamond once before November, you'll be able to come with me. So I'd love to take some of you guys along with me to the Diamond Summit. Okay, these are some things you're going to write down. I want you to think about this and really put to paper, what are your goals in the next year? So first, consider your 90-day goal. This is going to be something a little bit more immediate. December, January, February, where do you want to be rank-wise? What do you want your income to be like? What are you hoping your team is going to look like? How many builders are on your team? These kinds of things. What is your 90-day goal? And write that down. You're also going to write down your 6-month goal. And then your 12-month goal. And then I want you, as you're writing those things down and figuring it out, you're going to kind of go back and cross-check what month that's going to put you at. So say your 90-day goal is silver. That would put you at hitting silver in February. I would encourage you to change your goal to hit silver in January. The reason would be that you could qualify for leadership if you hit it in January. And then you can come with us to Florida, which is awesome. So consider, what's going on in the doTERRA world on the months that you're looking to rank up, and kind of adjust your goals accordingly. So if your 6-month goal, that would put us, May, June. If your 6-month goal was, silver, premier, whatever it is, that's a great month. May, June are great months to be building and pushing. I would say July, August are less high action months. So if you're looking for a rank goal of some sort, like a new rank, you're going to want to try and put it in May or June. So then what's your 12-month goal? That's going to bring you to next year, November, December, right? Also a fantastic time to be ranking up. So kind of think about what your team's going to be like in a year. What rank can you see yourself a year from now, and start planning towards that. So I'm going to show you how I'm sort of like blocking out my year. This is what I'm hoping for for January to December. So for those of you that don't know, I hit diamond in June of 2016, and I have not hit it again since. So I've only hit it once. My goal to hit it again would be March. That may look like a long time to some of you, but I pushed for diamond before my team was really ready for it. And so I definitely have to like work hard to hit that rank again. I definitely will teach people to hit it a little bit more organically so you can hit it more often. So yeah, January, I'm hoping to just kind of maintain platinum rank. And a self-care refresh. You know, January is a perfect time to think about your health and to take a little bit more better care of yourself, and to teach people in your network to do the same thing. New Year's resolutions, right? People are looking for healthy ideas and suggestions, so this is great. In February, Brittany and I are hoping to do a Niagara boot camp, and so February is going to be about education for me. I'm sure Lindsay will be in on it too, but we have not talked to her because she's been in Costa Rica for 2 weeks. But we're hoping to do, because we have so many of us who are diamonds in one area, we're hoping to do sort of a local boot camp this year, which will be really awesome. So then March and April, I find are really great push months. So months where I'm going to be teaching classes and enrolling a little bit more. May, I am going on vacation. I'm going to be gone for 10 days to Europe. So for me, it's going to be a down month and sort of a planning preparation month to hit diamond again next June. July, I'm going to Guatemala. So I'm going to take some time to, you know, rest, refresh, and enjoy summertime. August, because there's going to be people pushing for rank for convention. I'm likely going to have another team party at my house and just encouraging my builders to achieve their goals and dreams and not really be focusing on myself. September, convention. It can be a push month, but usually I find it's a prep month for October. So then October, November, December are always push months, in my opinion. If you're doing doTERRA, you need to take advantage of September to December. They're the fastest growing months of the year. So I just wanted you to see that. I encourage you to kind of block off your own year in this way and kind of just decide, you know, when are you going to be pushing for things? When are you going to be able to schedule classes? Because as you have people asking about classes, maybe push them into the next month. So if you're like, oh, February, I don't really want to be pushing, say, hey, do you mind hosting in March? And just push things back that way. It'll make it a little bit easier. So as you wrote down your 90-day goal, I want you to kind of ask yourselves some of these questions about that 90-day goal. So I know it says 30, 60, 90, but we're just going to think about 90. How close are you to hitting that next rank? How close are you to your 90-day goal? Maybe it's not a rank goal. Maybe it's an income goal or a personal development goal or something like that. But how close are you, and who do you need to work with? This may not be your upline. That may be your like automatic thought, oh, I'm going to work with my upline to do this. But maybe it's somebody else. Maybe it's somebody who inspires you. Maybe it's your team, your leaders. Maybe it's your customers that you need to work with. Just kind of write that down. What program is going to help you reach your goal? So it's important to consider what kind of programs you're going to be into, because it offers you a huge amount of accountability. I did Spark the Change with the hubbies in the summertime, and it really helped my business stay stable through months that are normally very slow. And so I loved that I had that accountability. I had a bit of a challenge. I had something to focus on. As I told everybody I'm taking the summer off, I was really concerned that I would fall so far out of doing a business that I wouldn't really know how to do it when I came back in September. So Spark was such an awesome way to just keep that momentum up and keep posting in my business group and reaching out to my team and my leaders and all of that. So consider who's going to hold you accountable. whether it's a program or your upline or somebody, your spouse, have somebody ask you how you're doing in your business. Incentivizing. So think of fun ways that you can create some excitement in your team, whether it's something fun or some rewards or prizes or something like that. Really consider that, especially as you're pushing for a new rank. Consider what you're going to offer to your people. Also block off days where you're going to be, blitzing. So whether it's a text blitz to book classes or a follow-up blitz to nail down dates for classes or nail down enrollments or just to provide value to people, schedule those in. And what is your personal development plan? So what are you going to be doing to make yourself and your business grow? What are you going to be able to read? What are you going to be listening to? What are you going to be studying? All right. So we kind of did this already. Your goals, your 90 and 6 month and 12-year goals. But I liked the second questions here. What's your income goal? Why are you working towards a certain rank? Is it because you have a specific income level in mind? And I want you to write that down because I want you to almost taste it to see how close it is for you to be able to be earning that amount of money. When I first started, all I wanted to do was replace my current income, which wasn't hard. I worked for a church. I didn't really make a whole lot of money. So I was like, okay, I just need to make $20,000 a year and then I can quit my job. And so when that happened, it was really exciting. But now I make, 2.5 times that fairly easily. Like I'm pretty solid gold platinum. So it was really exciting. And now when I think of my income goals, it's grown so much from that. And it's not this like selfish, I want to be rich. It's this amazing, think of all the things and the ways that you can give back when you have more money to give. So think of your income goal. I find a lot of people have weird issues and fears and limiting beliefs around money. So write it down and don't be ashamed of it. These goals are good. They can either fuel you or scare you, but either way, I think it's really important to identify it. What are you doing to become a better leader? So I always think of this question, would I be the kind of leader that I would want to follow? Like if I was my own leader, would I be good enough? I have such amazing uplines and I strive to be like them and to offer the same sort of heart and wisdom to my own team. So think of yourself. Are you the kind of leader that you would want to follow? And what are you doing to grow? What are you reading? Lindsay posted this Leaders Are Readers challenge in her team, and it was amazing to be able to really crack down on getting some reading done. We often push it aside as unimportant or as we don't have time, but when you make it a priority, you're going to see some huge growth. Number 4, what are the doTERRA events that you are planning to attend? It says doTERRA and other. Likely they're going to be business-related events, maybe not necessarily doTERRA corporate events, but put those on your vision board, things that you want to go to. So many people have a million excuses as to why they can't come to convention. Put it on your vision board as something that you want to do this year. Make it a goal that you can achieve. Maybe you have to earn a certain level of income to make it happen, but that's going to help you make it happen. So really work towards that. I like this. Rate yourself in these areas. So just write these 8 things down, and then later you can kind of rate yourself from 1 to 10. 1 would be totally unskilled, and 10 would be pro. So 1, find people to talk to. 2, invite. 3, present. 4, follow up. 5, close. 6, get them started. 7, build for events. And 8, mentor. Find people to talk to. When we were in Costa Rica, Craig and Lindsay kept making friends with random people. They met a couple from London and made friends with them, London, England. And it was pretty cool to see that they were just finding new people to talk to. And Craig would always come back and be like, I just found us new builders in London. I'm like, oh dear. But it was awesome because they were just being nice to people and finding new people to talk to. This is a skill, but it's actually really easy. Just be nice to people. Okay, so rate yourselves in these 8 areas. You don't have to fill that out now, but if you've written them all down, you'll be able to do it later. And then think about your team's kind of vision and goals for the year. So 1 year from now, how many people do you have on your team? How big of a team do you have by the end of 2017? So this is taken from last year's 2017. And what is your plan? And how many people in your organization do you want to achieve a certain rank? So my goal for 2017 is actually to have 10 to 15 people hit the rank of silver and above on my own team, and I'm really excited. I know lots of you are almost there and getting really close, and my goal is so much more than about my own rank, but to help so many people on our team to get to those big ranks. And I know people like the Kirschbaums, they have goals of getting 50 diamonds on their team. Like, I can only imagine how amazing that feels to help people achieve those kinds of things. Some tools that you can use while you're planning. I personally use the dynamic planner just for my scheduling and for classes, because I can bring it to my classes to help me book for the following month. And I'll just have dates circled on it, and people can kind of choose from there. It's easier than using my phone. The dough planner is another one that's available. Rank worksheets. If you're not using these are super, super important if you're looking to rank up within a month's time. So Ange has one, that's this one here, that auto-populates the totals. So you can go into, she has a link in her description in her group page that has all the toolkits. So you click on the toolkits link, and then you'll click on the rank toolkit. So the rank toolkit will have all these spreadsheets in it, plus a whole bunch of other information that you can check out. Or if you're interested, the Share Success, oh, that's in the back, but I'm gonna make it bigger. This is the Silver Planner. It's really simple. You would hand write these kind of totals in. You write down your builders' names, you write down how much volume is scheduled on LRPs and how much volume you need, and then lower down, you can write down how many classes you need to make that happen. So it's really important to see the numbers and see these things happening. Okay, we're almost done, about a minute left before we're finished. Share Success, Train by Rank. These are new. Share Success has just come out with these. Go to sharesuccess.com/train by rank. They have a rank planner guide. It's like this beautiful book of how to hit each rank. And they break down very specifically the kind of tasks that you need to be doing. So I would recommend, if you're pushing for Premier or Silver, go actually check out that specific guide. Let me see here. Train by rank. So let's say you're going for Silver. You can go to their website. They're free to look at. They're just a link you can click. They have videos you can watch. You can actually buy or download the guide. If you want to have a hard copy, you can purchase it. But you can look at it right online and just go through. There's lots of videos you can watch. So these are really helpful little guides. Just pick the one that's specific to your own rank. Keep growing yourself. So we've said this so many times in doTERRA. We know that this is true. When you hit a wall, you need to skill up. You may feel right now that you're in this season of growing slowly. And you think that, my whole business is just going to be slow growth. But don't allow your personal development to be slow as well. So even if your team is not growing as quickly as you like, allow yourself to grow quickly so that you can better your skills and better your business that way. Okay, last thing to tell you, I'm sure you've heard this before, but never quit on a bad day. Will you quit after you've had a great day in doTERRA? Not likely. You're going to come home from that class that you just rocked, or from a really awesome encounter with a new builder, and you're going to be so on fire and so passionate and so excited. So all you have to promise me is that you won't quit on a bad day. If things are rough, if you've hit a wall, if you've had rejection, if you went to a class and nobody showed up, or you taught a huge class that nobody bought anything, don't quit. Those setbacks happen to all of us. They make you stronger. They teach you all kinds of lessons. So just keep going. There is so much room for growth for all of us, and all of us want to see you do so well in this business. So just keep on going. All right, I hope you all have fun planning your year and enjoy this awesome year to come. Does anyone have any questions before we hop off? You have to unmute yourself if you want to ask a question. And I've been ignoring the chat. I'm sorry about that. Looks like it's all good. Any questions from anybody? Okay, awesome. Have a good night, everyone.